I love that shit. That's really fun to do. And this Murder of Crows move, it doesn't even, like, kill him. I thought that you could just sick these vigors on people and you could do it. I also like how they call anything below Columbia the Sodom below. But anyway, these are the skylines. It seems to be mainly like a cargo transportation system for Columbia, but I guess they also have like they're basically like sky trolleys or whatever. But yeah, you can hook onto them with your sky hook and sail across them. I'm not entirely sure how that works with how the sky hook is. Like, is it rolling on the thing right now? Because that's what it sounds like. I don't really know mechanically how that's supposed to work, but the good news is this is a fake video game. It doesn't matter. I mean, look how satisfying that shit is. It's really fun to just swing down and bean someone in the head from the fucking sky. That didn't quite go as I planned. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I'm going to now. This game, I was reading up about this game a little bit before starting this LP, and I already knew that the game was controversial for a few things. I knew that it was controversial for its portrayal of religion and Christianity. I know that there apparently was at least one employee of 2K Games, one developer on the game, who left the game. This guy just can't catch a fucking break. The person left development on the game because he said that it says that if you're Christian, then you're a bad person, which I don't really know how you can know the story of this game and think that, really. I don't even really think that this game is a story that's mainly about religion. I mean, I guess you could say that it's about cults, and, I mean, religion is just hop, skip, and a jump from cults, so I don't know why these people don't murder you. I guess because Comstock said stand down. Because he wants to talk to me. Not sure why. I am the false shepherd after all. I have AD, which, as we all know, stands for anal dick.
I see every sin that blackens your soul. Wounded knee, the Pinkertons, the drink, the gambling, and of course, Anna. And now, to repay a debt, you've come from my land. But not all debts can be repaid, Booker.
You don't know me, pal.
Prophecy is my business, Mr. DeWitt. As blood is yours. Do you know why these men will die for me? Because I have seen their future in the glory, and hence they are content. What brought you to Columbia, Booker? Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt? This will end in blood, DeWitt. Then again, it always does with you, doesn't it? It always ends in blood. You've come to lead my lamb astray, but thy crook is bent and thy path is twisted. Go back to the Sodom from which you came.
Zach is mad. As I was saying, but yeah, I mean, religious zealotry, sure, this game has some negative things to say about that, but I mean, Comstock isn't all about, I don't think he is meant to represent, like, religious leaders, necessarily. He is Although, this is part of what problematizes the game's conception of, like, people that want power doing things. Again, as always, I'll get into it because most people who have played the game will probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but in a little bit, partway through the game, when we meet some other characters that have some goals, some political goals of their own, then the narrative gets a little bit complicated. But what I did not know was that this game was apparently also quite controversial for its graphic violence, which I didn't really think would be a thing. I mean, it is pretty violent, but it's also a first-person shooter game and a Bioshock game, so I didn't really think that was that unexpected. Holy fuck. She did that. Just walk past that fire. And yeah, you're supposed to grab onto the skyline here, but I guess it doesn't let you until you've gone down a certain point, but it doesn't kill you, so that's nice. Oh, now we're entering Monument Island. Well, what was all that before? It wasn't the Hall of Heroes, because I know that you do the Hall of Heroes a little bit later. But yeah, this is Monument Island with the big angel, which is where Elizabeth, the girl, is hanging out. Must be weird being able to just randomly make it magnetize onto the hook. I'm not exactly sure how they purport that works. But yeah, there are people who said, like, you didn't need it to be this violent, or, like, this, at least this, brutally violent. They specifically had problems with, like, the Skyhook murders. I'm assuming that guy getting murdered by the crows and shit. Like, you do some very, very violent and gruesome things in the game, for sure. But, I mean, this is also a game about, like, Booker was in the Pinkertons, and, like, was at the Battle of Wounded Knee, and, the whole point of this game's story is kind of examining the gross and brutal underbelly of, the sort of saturated, sentimental, what word am I looking for? Like, fabricated, essentially, vision, iconography of American culture and American values, what America stands for, and all of that. Because, I mean, I don't think it should be lost on people that Comstock and Colombia were, before they seceded and before, the U.S. government had a problem with them, were seen as, like, paragons of Americanism, of American might and American exceptionalism and culture. And this sort of stuff with, like, the testing and the monitoring of Elizabeth and supposedly of other people, I think it's a little bit implied here that people of color, like black people, were tested on. I mean, that sort of shit is completely like objectively true in American history, that they've rounded up U.S. civilians and of course members of foreign countries as well. But, tested on them. I mean, like, MK Ultra is the biggest one, but all kinds of that shit. Like, this stuff is not completely out of the ordinary, really. And this is all very interesting. It is interesting, though. One of the things that I like about this game is that it manages to mesh very futuristic-y and I like nowadays sort of notions of surveillance and of modern American like the things that the American sort of imperial project have done over the past 50 years, but with futurist technology from the 1900s, from the early turn of the 20th century.
Another to see it. I have seen the seeds of fire that will prepare the Sodom below for the coming of the Lord. But Elizabeth shall sow those seeds, not I. I will fall before the job is done. But she shall take up my mantle. The Lord is calling me home. I feel his love in every tumor, because they are the train which takes me to his station. And I go with joy, knowing that Elizabeth will take my earthly place. The false shepherd is coming to lead my lamb astray. I will not board that train until she is safe from his deceptions.
The long-ass voxophone. And as soon as it ends, yeah, you can tell how loud this machine actually is. The voxophones cut out like all of the regular sound, and it's kind of strange whenever you find a voxophone, but the game wants to do like the expository dialogue, so you'll just hear Booker and Elizabeth. Spoilers: Elizabeth is in this game. I mean, we're at the beginning of the game and we're being told to find the girl, and we're literally about to see her in 2 seconds, so yeah, she's in the game. They'll be talking about like important stuff, but you'll be listening to someone on a voxophone be like, and I'm going to fucking kill the false shepherd. Elizabeth is my best friend.
Dressing room. That's where we need to go.
So yeah, this is the chamber. And this is where the game really starts kicking off. This is where shit gets cool. Because the backbone, really, of this story is the relationship between Booker and Elizabeth. And their relationship is what thematically makes this whole thing work. They're the two of them's relationship to Comstock. Obviously, the Lutece twins are important, but like as far as the main emotional core of what I think the game's story is about, it's Booker, Elizabeth, and Comstock is really where the narrative sort of meat lies. So this is the kickoff of that. It's a really fun and interesting kickoff for this section of the game. For again, this is sort of the inciting incident of the plot for real. And it's all really cool. This is one of my favorite areas of the game, and just the way that they do these first few bits of your relationship with Elizabeth, of you finding what has happened to her, that they've been keeping her and watching her and studying her, and that she can do this.
Whoa!
I want to go see La Revanche du Jedi.
Whatever that was. It's got nothing to do with the job at hand.
That is incorrect, Booker. It has very much to do with the job at hand. But yeah, I like this build-up. I like the actual scene of them meeting, and I like the stuff that occurs afterward. And just in general, the opening bits of this game are really, really fun because I think they do a really good job of planting all of the narrative seeds of where all of this extremely complex and kind of convoluted and nonsensical story is going to go.
It would seem the universe does not like its peas mixed with its porridge.
And that was probably a little bit important, but I talked over it. It was about the sort of quantum theory kind of stuff. I felt like I was doing spoilers by making reference to quantum shit with this game, because I feel like knowing that, you can kind of start guessing where things are gonna go, but the game also plants those seeds, and the game mentions it pretty immediately, so I don't care. Also, this game is 6 years old, and I feel like everybody has played it or seen it and knows about it, and also, shut up.
Hello. Hey! Knock it off! Stop it! Will you stop it? Not here to hurt you.
Who are you?
My name is DeWitt. I'm a friend. I come to get you out of
Get
here.
away! Are you real?
I'm real enough.
He's coming. You've gotta go.
Why?
You don't want to be here when he gets here. Just a minute, I'm getting dressed.
Get you out of here.
There's no way out. Trust me, I've looked. Stop it, you're too impatient. That's enough.
What about this?
What about it?
This is the way out, isn't it?
What are you... Give it to me.
So yeah, this is Elizabeth. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Sometimes video games that have a little companion character are annoying, but Elizabeth is pretty awesome, and we have some shit's going down now.
It's his job to keep me locked up in here.
We'll see about that.
Who are you? Why did you come here? This way, come on!
Wait!
Hurry!
The game stops you from moving there so that the thing can fall and she can do it. The game does get kind of weird when you run too quick for it in these things, and it's like, no, the scripted events, you're gonna ruin them.
All this time. Why? Why did they put me in here? What am I? What am I?
You're the girl who's getting out of this tower. This way.
We have to keep moving. He's tearing the building apart.
Be careful, Elizabeth.
How do you know my name?
Not now.
There's a door up here.
Out of the way. Let me try.
Which way?
Undress the girl and wipe away the debt. Are you in there to wit?
What do you want with her?
We had a deal to wit.
Tell me what you want with her.
Open this door right now.
Are you going to hurt her? Tell me what you want! Anna? Anna!